What I'd like to transition to are grinders, bench grinders in particular. So to redress the carbide side of the tool, you'll need a silicon carbide green wheel. These can be a little challenging to find at hardware stores. If you have a local industrial supply shop that's fairly well fitted, you should be able to find them there. You can ask them or tell them that you're looking for a silicon diamond or a silicon carbide grinding wheel, or that you're grinding carbide, and they should be able to point you in the right direction. If not, you're always welcome to give us a call. We do sell these in the 1-inch widths in either a 6-inch diameter, which is this one, as well as an 8-inch diameter. That just kind of depends on the size of your grinder. When you do give us a call, it's always helpful if you measure the arbor on your grinder so that we can give you the right bushing so that it'll fit your grinder right out of the box. If you don't have a grinder yet, there are a couple of things that you'll want to consider. You don't necessarily need a big industrial grade one like this one. A fairly inexpensive one will do. You will want to outfit it with a green wheel, but often those grinders are going to come with an aluminum oxide, a pair of aluminum oxide wheels already on the grinder. I recommend taking the coarser grit off, replacing it with the green wheel, leave the finer grit on there. And the finer grit aluminum oxide wheel is what you're going to be using for redressing the steel. Now, the downside with using stone wheels on a bench grinder is that it is a stone wheel, and as you're grinding, it's going to start distorting in shape. So if you have a tool with a fairly pronounced mushroom on it, or even if it's not that pronounced, you really need to make sure you're doing a good job of maintaining contact all the way across that, all the way across the stone. Otherwise, you're going to end up gouging the wheel, and it's going to be really hard to maintain a nice bevel. You'll spend a lot of time either using a dressing tool like this one, not this large, a little bit smaller, or we also have these really nice diamond tipped dressing tools. I really like these. They have a couple of advantages that I'll talk about here in a minute. If you don't redress the wheel, what you're often going to run into is that multifaceted grind that we were talking about before. It's not going to be even. It's going to be really hard to maintain a nice symmetric grind on the tool, and that goes for the carbide side of the tool as well as the steel side. And the last thing that I'll mention before moving over to the grinder to start demonstrating some grinding technique is just touch on the difference between grinding carbide and steel. So on the steel end of the tool, these are tempered to a very specific hardness. You want to maintain that temper as best as possible. The best way to do that is to keep the tool cool while you're grinding. So every couple of seconds after you've made a few passes around the steel, it's important to dunk the steel in water, give it a quick quench, keep the steel cool. I like to do this barehanded so that as I'm grinding the tool, I can always check the temperature with my hand, and as long as I can make contact comfortably with that tool and I don't see any discoloration, then I know I'm not disturbing the temper of the tool, and we're in good shape. On the carbide side of this, the tool, when you're using the silicon carbide wheel, temperature is less of an issue. The steel isn't hardened around the carbide. The weld is a very secure weld. You're not going to heat it up enough to, generally, heat it up enough to disturb the weld or the carbide. You don't want to be lingering on the tool too long, but after you've reshaped the carbide, just let it air cool. Never put it in water, and you'll be fine.